911.
Yes, I'm at South Fork Park, and we have a dead body on the road.
Where is that? I don't know where that's
That's
at.
that's by Acme in Whatcom County.
South Fork Park?
Yes.
Okay, and was the person struck by a vehicle?
No, we were driving. It's a park. We were driving on a gravel road, and it's a female person that's laying in the road as we drove up.
Okay, and have you checked a pulse?
She's dead. She's
Do you see an obvious wound?
Yeah, it looks like her face has been smashed in. It looks definitely like somebody hurt her.
Okay, and you're sure she's deceased?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, and do you see a blood pool?
Yes.
Okay, and you've checked for a pulse?
There's really no need to.
Okay, she's decomposing?
Yeah, she's pretty much turning black, yeah.
Okay.
When investigators arrived at South Fork Park, they encountered a scene that would haunt even the most hardened detectives. There, on the cold dirt road, lay the body of a young woman. She would later be identified as 22-year-old Darian Sather. The evidence painted a picture of unimaginable violence. Tire tracks ran directly over her body, crucial markings that investigators meticulously photographed and documented. But as detectives examined Darian more closely, they discovered something that didn't fit the pattern of a simple hit and run: 2 distinctive marks on her chest. Though their significance wasn't clear yet, these marks would eventually become a crucial piece of the puzzle. Then came another discovery. 20 feet from Darian's body, officers found a discarded phone. Within hours of tracing the number, a name emerged: Malaki Dexter. For investigators, the question was clear. Was this man a witness who could unravel the mystery, or was he the architect of this brutal crime?
Okay, this is Detective Derek Bogle, Whatcom County Sheriff's Office. This is in regards to case number 20A11527, homicide. With me is Malaki Dexter and his attorney, Mark Kamen. Gentlemen, do I have your permission to record this interview?
You do. Yes.
Okay. All right, Malaki, so I kind of explained to you how this is going to work. Just go ahead and we're going to start here. Just tell me about what happened when you first pulled in. Tell me and what you were doing.
Well, we were coming here to buy drugs from the people, and we first pulled in the parking lot, and we came down the road. We saw their truck parked over here right by the corner, and we came down, turned around, and pulled up behind them.
Okay.
So we turned around right before we didn't go past these signs or nothing, so I turned around right here. And drove up where we were behind their car. I didn't pull up next to their car. I pulled up right behind their truck, and they backed up and reversed until they were right next to my car.
Okay, and that's just down the road here a little bit?
Yeah, right down here where
okay.
Right where the road turns like a hill.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and walk over to where that area is and see if you can. And if I remember correctly, you kind of pointed that area out as we walk back here.
Yeah, I remember when I was talking before. I guess I didn't notice it was grass over here because I was not paying too much attention. I just knew that they were on a hill because my car was so much lower, and I could only see through the window, like one of them, without ducking my head around because they were at an angle.
All right. So you said you drove down here, and where were they parked at?
They were parked probably right up there, past right where the road about turns.
Okay.
And I was parked probably right about here. And they backed up to where they were up on this hill right next to my car.
Okay.
And their car was, there was barely enough space for her to get out of my passenger side back seat and go around to their side.
Okay.
So when she got out of the vehicle, out of the back passenger seat, and went around in front of their car to their passenger side.
So she walked around the front or the back of
the front of their car.
Front of the truck to the passenger side.
Yeah, and then she was talking to them. They were just getting along with a fine conversation. They were smoking on a bong of some sort, and then out of nowhere, their engine revved up and they just took off. And when they took off, it looked like she was, from where I was sitting, it looked like she was holding on to the car, and like she was holding herself up. But they took off and got right around this corner, and I sped off behind them. And right after Tyler jumped in the car because he was standing, like door open, almost out of the car. He got in and we sped behind him, and we saw her fall off the truck.
Okay.
Just right up here. and we pulled up right behind her, and that's where he got out, and he looked to check on her, and we got back in.
The story coming from Malaki revealed the first pieces of what happened that night. He admitted that he and his friend Tyler had been with Darian in the hours before her death. According to him, they'd driven to South Fork Park for what was supposed to be a simple drug deal. Darian had set up a meeting with some contacts of hers who were going to sell them methamphetamine. But what happened next turned deadly. According to Malaki, the men took Darian's money and sped away, with Darian desperately trying to stop them. In those chaotic moments, what began as a robbery would end in a young woman losing her life.
We'll tell you what. How about we walk down just a little bit farther, and I'll show you kind of where she landed, or where we had found her at.
That makes sense if it was farther. It's like they were swerving. They were really. They were really like fishtailed a couple times and fully went straight.
All right. See this kind of this pile of gravel here on the right. That's where she landed. So maybe look around, see if anything jogs your memory about where you're at, what you did.
I pulled up. My car was probably like right here because Tyler got out and he didn't have to step very far to see her body. So I was farther. Yeah. And he got right out and got out, and I got out of my car, and I got not a foot, like one step out of the door before he ran back, and I could see her.
So you're still kind of in that door well, just outside.
I'm like one step out of the car.
Okay.
And he comes running back and gets in the car, and then when I got, he was looking at her, and he got in the car, and we started taking off, and right before we took off, he started freaking out, and that's when I took her bag and her tablet and got tossed it out the back seat. I tossed it out right here.
And then what did Tyler do?
He got out and walked up to her, and I didn't know if I didn't see if he touched her or not. He just went really close, got really close to her, and then he started freaking out. That's why I was. He's like, she's dead. His face is crushed in. Oh my God! Like he was. And like hysteric and frantic and just telling me to go and panicked. And we drove. That's when we drove off.
Okay.
And then we drove down this way for a good like 5 or 10 minutes past the store, a couple corners, and then pulled off as a random spot and started talking. Like we were both freaked out and panicked, and that's when we came up with the idea of my phone was with her and sending a text message to it and trying to say that we weren't with her and everything.
So how was your phone with her?
My phone was either fell out of my car there when I stepped out, or she had it still because she was using it to use my hotspot on her tablet so she can message people.
So that's how she was accessing the internet. You did a hotspot for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that's why my phone could have been still on my lap and fallen out when I got out of the vehicle. But last I remember, she had it, so we couldn't find it in my car, so I knew it was one of the two.
Okay. And what did your phone look like?
Just a black rectangle Galaxy J7.
Okay.
Sky J7, yeah.
Do you have any of the little tabs on the back to hold it and play?
Yeah, it had a little red, I think it was red or green, and it had a little metal ring on it.
Okay. Is there any Velcro on the back of it at all?
Yeah. Okay. Velcro on it too.
Do you remember what color that Velcro is?
Either black or white. I got two types. I got a bunch of Velcro at my house.
You guys were discussing, because you figured your phone was here. What were you guys talking about? What was your plan?
We to say that we dropped her off and that we weren't here. We were gonna say that we didn't see it because we didn't want to get in trouble because we had already left.
Okay.
We were afraid of getting in trouble for leaving, so we didn't want to say that we saw. So we were trying to say that we left. To send a message to her saying that we dropped. She had my phone and that we didn't know where she went. Like we dropped her off on the way here.
So were you high at the time?
I didn't sleep in like 6-7 days, if not more than that. Like my girlfriend left me and she took my kid, and I was just being stupid and fucking using drugs and not thinking. So I was at the point where I was like seeing things that weren't there sometimes, and I was like not like seeing things, but like shadows or something, like little fucking like lights and stuff in the corner freaked me out, and I was getting all paranoid, and I was installing speakers in my car. In my mind, it was just a normal drug deal. Everything was fine, so I wasn't paying more attention to what I was doing in my car until they sped off.
Okay.
I wish I paid more attention to the details of the car, the plates or something.
Okay. What can you tell me about the other vehicle? What do you remember?
A white truck that was had bigger It was kind of like not huge truck, like maybe not. I can't say it for sure. It's a Toyota, but like the smaller like Toyota style trucks.
So it wasn't a full size half
Yeah,
ton, 3/4 ton pickup. It was
no huge, giant truck.
a small version. Okay.
Yeah, because when they pulled up next to my car, it wasn't much bigger than my car. It was a truck, but it was lifted up higher.
Okay. And then how many people do you remember being in the truck?
There's 3 guys in there that I saw.
Okay. Do you remember any clothing that anybody was wearing, anything like that?
No, I remember when we pulled in, and I didn't think it was them at first because it looked like one of them had like a telescope or something, like he was like looking at wildlife out here or something. Like they looked like older, younger, I mean, not older, but like my age or maybe a little older than me, kind of like style guys, and they're out here hunting or sighting birds or something. At first, when we pulled in,
that guy was near the truck.
they were all in the truck.
They were all in the truck when you got. And this guy with his telescope, where was that person?
He was like, it wasn't like a telescope, but like it looked like he was like maybe a scope or like a sight or something. Like it looked like he was looking through something. And like out of the field when we pulled in, like drove by him. Like
where was this person at?
In the middle of the truck. I'm pretty sure he's in the middle. There's 3 people
in the truck.
And I'm pretty sure there's the one in the middle.
Oh, so the person you're talking about is somebody that was in the truck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It wasn't an extra person.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't think they were the drug dealers when we pulled in because they looked like they were just 3 guys like looking at animals.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So
They didn't strike me at first when I first drove by because the style of the truck, it was like the way they looked in the truck. I didn't.
Okay.
Until she was like, "That's them," and I was like, "Oh, really?" Like. And we pulled up behind their car. They backed up to my car so quickly. It was her getting out, talking to them. I wasn't paying attention to them. I mean, I've had buying drugs. You know, I was told not to look at the person or not to fucking ask their name or nothing, so that they don't sell you drugs.
So what did Darian tell you about these people? Did she tell you anything about them?
That they were that was a good deal. It was going to work out. She told us at first that we were meeting them in Bellingham at AM/PM. And then ended up meeting here because it was closer halfway for both of us. And she said it was a good deal, that she's trust these people. She's got from them before. They're reliable. They're going to be there. They're going to show up. But she didn't tell us their names or anything. I tried to get their names, so I always try to, just because I want to buy from them instead next time. As if, and I have to go through Darian, but she wouldn't give me their names.
Okay.
Malachi's statement aligned perfectly with the evidence at the scene. The tire tracks, the positioning of the body, and the discovery of the phone. Everything matched his account. While police could definitively rule out Malaki and his friend Tyler as suspects in Darian's death, they were still facing a crucial problem. Neither of them could identify any of the 3 men in the vehicle that killed Darian. Without names or faces to go on, detectives were back at square one. That's when investigators turned to their extensive network of confidential informants. It was a strategy that paid off almost immediately. Within minutes of spreading the word, an informant came forward with a crucial piece of information. They had heard that a well-known drug dealer operating out of Whatcom County was one of the men in the vehicle that night. His name was Brent Gerber. Armed with this intelligence, investigators moved quickly. They located Gerber within hours and brought him in for questioning.
Well, Brent, Ken and I here have been investigating for the last couple of days, okay? We talked to all kinds of different people all over Whatcom and Skagit County. We've compiled some evidence, okay, and we're taking your truck as well, all right? Again, several people have talked to us already, and we've had people identify you. Cameras all over Mosquito Lake and Highway 9. So we know that you know why you're here. We just want you to explain to us what actually happened, Brent. You had a bird's eye view of everything, so why don't you go ahead and tell us what's going on, buddy?
These guys had me give them a ride to meet some people. Apparently, something to do with she had robbed this guy or got stabbed, or he got stabbed or some shit, and then...
What was his name, Brent?
Peyton.
Peyton?
Like, I guess Peyton. That's all I've ever heard. Like one time, somebody called him. And so I took him out there, and then
took him out where?
To where they used to have the fireworks at Enormous Park or whatever it's called. And this car pulled in or whatever, and they like sat back kind of behind me, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And watched him in the mirror. So then he's like, just go back there. So I backed up to him, and this girl gets out and goes over and talks to the dude. Well, I was on my phone. I don't really care why or what happened, you know, or what between them. And it wasn't like I was there because I just asked for a ride because they don't have a car or license or some shit. And then he's like, go. And I was like, what do you mean, go? I said, okay. And then she jumped on the truck. And they were fighting or whatever. And I just kept going. But I don't know what happened. It was like, dude, you should have just went when I told you to go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know? Well, he jacked her money and whatever else from her. And it scared the shit out of me because I didn't know what was going on, and so I just kept going, and, you know.
Okay. How do you know these guys?
They're staying in a motorhome at my buddy's house. Well, it's not my house. They live in a motorhome too.
And that's where those two are staying.
Well, not two. Just the one. Kid, the Peyton kid.
Peyton.
That's why I agreed. I'm like, okay, I've seen him there a few times. I'll give you a ride, whatever.
So what exactly did he tell you that he needed you to do when you drove him down?
To actually
And
meet
for,
this girl.
to meet the girl. And then what did he say he was going to do to the girl?
Jack her money.
Jack her money. Okay, got it. Okay. So and how did this other guy get involved?
They're buddies.
And you know his name?
No. Yeah.
He said, you need to drive. Can you drive me down there? I'll give you some money
to meet this girl. And I was like, yeah,
I need to jack her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, whatever, dude.
Okay.
Why would you tell me that?
Right. And all you were doing was just driving him down.
Yeah.
You didn't want to hurt anybody. You weren't looking at anything like that. You were just giving him a ride. He said he'd give you $50.
No, he didn't say amount. How much he'd give me. He said, I'll give you some gas money.
I'll give you some gas money, okay. So you drive him down there. His buddy comes with you. You get down to the park. You drive down and kind of go around that big circle down there.
There's a parking area
or
something back there.
And then did you pull off onto the side anywhere?
Yeah,
okay.
We pulled off when they sat there on the grass or whatever.
And I think you said you didn't wait very long. They showed up fairly soon.
I got out and took a leak and smoked a cigarette, and she was there.
So these other guys told us that you were nosed out, and then they showed up, and then you moved to the truck back a little bit.
They were sitting behind me, and I'm like,
okay.
What the fuck were they doing?
So you felt more comfortable with
being.
You didn't want them behind you. You wanted to at least be able to see them.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like pulling guns out or something.
Sure.
No, I didn't want to get.
As far as you know, this is maybe a drug deal going on, but they're getting their money, or Peyton's getting his money from this girl, is what you understood.
Yeah.
Okay. So she jumps up onto the running board, and then the window was rolled down, or the door was open?
She was like reaching for whatever he had.
Okay.
I don't know.
How long had she been in there before they told you to go?
How did she get them? So you said nobody got out of the truck. So did she reach in? Like, was it?
Yeah, they did it all right through the window. But I was sitting there on the phone, and I was trying to just like not even look because I don't want into your business. That's your business, you know. But I don't remember if he said something about the bong. He was going to give her the bong, and she was going to give him some money, blah, blah, but I don't know if she got the bong or if he kept the bong, because I didn't really pay attention to that part. And then he was counting money. Not like out loud, but he was sitting over there going like this, you know.
Money that she'd handed him?
No, I don't know if she did hand it to him or if he just took it from her.
Okay.
I don't know, but why would she just have it in her hand, you know?
Well, she was expecting some meth or something, right?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
All right.
That's what he does.
But he didn't have any drugs with him to sell, or he just took her money because she'd been involved with something.
I think that's why he was giving her the bong.
Okay.
Like to hang on to, or it was collateral or something.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. So then how long do you think it was that she'd been in the vehicle or hanging on the vehicle before you drove off? How much time?
I mean,
went by?
while they were standing there talking,
it
wasn't maybe like he handed her the bong and she smoked off it and
okay, gotcha.
whatever, blah blah, and then he's like, "Okay, go."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, well," and that's what he was bitching at me. He's like, "You just He looked at me like, huh? And I was like, well, fuck, do I look like I'm a professional driver or something?
All right.
God.
And she's still hanging inside the window at this point?
She was riding on, like, as I was going. I'm like, dude, get off my truck. Like, what the fuck? And she was on the running board, and then she wasn't. So I don't know.
Okay. Hanging onto the door like this, or like on the
Yeah,
A pillar, or?
Yeah, like a fireman, you know, like hanging
Yeah.
100 feet on the running board and hanging on the door and like trying to grab whatever he had or punch him or whatever. He said she hit him. I remember him saying that. But I'm sure they were hitting her too. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. No,
So when she was on the running board, were they just? You said they were trying to
that
get her
dude in
off.
the
Were
back
they
had a-
punching her? Were they pushing her? Were
Yeah,
they?
he was pushing on her and like hitting her in the throat, and the dude in the back had a taser, and I'm like, dude, shut that fucking thing off, because it's traumatizing to me.
Did he do her? Did he touch her with the
I don't.
taser?
I was trying to drive. I don't know if. I don't know. I didn't ever hear nobody scream or like, you know, like they were hurt. So I didn't. I don't know if they hit her with it or not. But.
Did you could hear the
like what the fuck?
you could actually hear the taser going off? Though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he kept doing it when we were driving. I'm like, dude, I had the SWAT team in my house dragging me out of the house and hitting me with that thing. And it's PTSD for me. Don't fucking push the button.
Yeah. Anything else you can tell us that might help us with these other guys? I mean, did they say anything negative about her after this happened? I mean, you said you wanted to go back and check, and they said no, don't go back.
She's fine. Just don't worry. She's fine.
What did you think happened?
And he said, was something bad happened or happened to her, you know, well, she fell off the running board. I figured she probably, you know, it would hurt. It wouldn't be something light. And she's like, and he's like, no, she's fine. She was moving or whatever, and those guys were standing. I remember looking in the rearview mirror and seeing the guys standing by or wherever she was.
Okay. So, did Jenny tell you what happened then to the girl?
No.
Okay, she didn't tell you that she died.
What the fuck? Oh. Why? What the fuck?
During his interview with police, Brent Gerber revealed how he became involved. He told detectives that a man named Peyton had approached him asking for a ride to South Fork Park in Acme, where they were supposed to meet a girl for a drug deal. When detectives pressed him for more details about his passengers, Gerber claimed he barely knew them. All he could offer was Peyton's first name, nothing more. But as Brent sat there, seemingly wrestling with the guilt of Darian's death, one of the detectives had an idea. If Peyton was involved in drugs, there was a chance he'd had previous run-ins with the law. The detective headed straight for the department's database, determined to search every arrest record for anyone named Peyton.
That's Peyton.
You want to put your initials there?
What for?
Just identifying Peyton.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to. This is voluntary.
If that's where I don't know.
He has that address too. Whole road.
What's gonna happen? Like what? Am I in trouble for it? Like what did I do?
Yeah, well, you're gonna be arrested. Okay.
So at this time in the investigation, we feel that your actions caused the death of another one.
Fuck me. No way.
The gentlemen that were in your pickup are also to blame.
Following his interview, Brent Gerber is charged with first-degree murder. And more importantly, he positively identified Peyton Mulryan as one of his passengers that night. But what investigators discovered next would reveal just how personal this crime was. Peyton wasn't just a random drug dealer, he was Darian's ex-boyfriend. Her Facebook page still listed them as being in a relationship at the time of her murder. Armed with this information, police moved quickly to the address they had on file for Peyton, but when they got there, it was already too late. Peyton Mulryan had gone on the run. With their prime suspect now a fugitive, police decided to turn their attention to surveillance footage from businesses in the area. While combing through footage from the morning of the murder, they spot the white pickup at a nearby gas station. The CCTV footage clearly showed 3 occupants inside. As detectives tracked the occupants' movement through various cameras, a familiar face caught their attention. The third suspect had been arrested previously. They recognized him as Tyler O'Keefe. They immediately brought Tyler in for questioning, and at this point, he had no idea that he was a suspect in Darian's murder.
Okay, I don't know if Detective Francis told you, but everything in this room is recorded visually and audio. The camera's right there. All right.
And again, Tyler, Deputy Strand read your Miranda rights, and you understand those rights, correct?
Yes, sir.
And with those rights in mind, you're okay to ask or answer a couple questions for us? Yes. Okay, thank you.
So we appreciate you wanting to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why we want to talk to you?
I have a pretty good feeling about the whole Peyton Mulryan thing.
Peyton who?
Peyton Mulryan.
Yeah.
He's been one of my best friends since we were like 7 or 8 years old, so.
Mm-hmm. So you hang out every day or what?
No. We just started hanging out again maybe 6 months ago. He asked to borrow money about maybe a year ago, and he asked for 40. I gave him 60, trying to be a decent friend, and he blocked me on Facebook the minute he drove out of the driveway. So when I saw him, so when I saw him next, I understand. The gal he was with at the time was a total junkie. He did a lot of heroin, and he got into it pretty bad too. So I was a little upset still, but like I said, I've known him probably longer than I've known anybody. So what this is all about is why me and him had another falling out, pretty much, because he did make me aware of what he was going to do. Or at least what he said he was going to go and meet up with a gal and said he's going to rob her. And
can we take a break? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you go back to give us some times and dates, and just keep in mind we've got warrants coming in on Facebook Messenger.
Oh yeah, of course.
All that stuff. So we know a lot of what's going on. We just want to give you the opportunity to be truthful. Okay.
Yep.
So can you go back to maybe Friday night where you were, and
Friday night.
Would have been Friday night the 3rd.
I want to say, so Friday night, my fiance and I got into a pretty big argument, and I ended up leaving around 12, like midnight, maybe 12:30, I'm not sure. I went to his house, over to Peyton's house, and I was there until about 4:30ish. I don't know exact times and stuff, but it was around 4:30 when Courtney picked me up, because I was not down to go and just to rob anybody, for that matter. Like, that's something I did when I was a kid, a teenager, and I'm well past that, and so, yeah, she came and picked me up, and I went home. Her and I went home, lay in bed with our son, and I woke up around maybe 7:30, I think. I hate snitching, I hate doing any of that, but he told me that they did follow through with the robbery or whatever, and he was just freaking out, and he was really paranoid, and he was really, I could tell, he never told me what went down, but I could tell he was very distraught, you know what I mean? He was pretty freaked out, and he was honestly getting on my last nerve, because he wouldn't tell me what was going down. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I had a ride back out to him, and was back out there by 9 at the latest.
Well, it's pretty important, Tyler, that you remember some of these things, because like I said, we were getting the information that's slowly coming in with the messenger, the Facebook Messenger stuff, and the phones and everything else, all right? So we want to be able to indicate that you're being truthful, but there's some holes in your story right now that we know aren't.
Where I'd love to fill it in. I'd love to fill it in.
Well, yeah, we've got some information about how you were with Peyton. So tell us more about that.
How I was with him?
Yeah.
Well, in which?
We've got some still shots of you in the truck, the white truck with Peyton. Tell us about that.
Being with Peyton when
Yeah.
I don't believe that I was.
Well, we believe that you were, because you're a pretty distinct-looking guy, and the photos speak for themselves. So.
You know, white truck.
Yeah.
I mean, guess I'm asking where at, because I don't.
Well, in various different places.
Various.
You and Brent and Peyton. So Ken and I have been working this since Saturday morning. So
Yes, of course.
lots of people have called in with tips. Lots of people have given us lots of information. There's as you probably know, video and still photos all over the place, people's properties, and that kind of stuff. So we know the route that you guys took out of there. So we got different people who have offered us their footage from their homes along the way. So we're able to put a lot of that together, piece a lot of that together. So Tyler, we know what happened. Again, maybe if you want to start over, might be the best thing, buddy. Hey Tyler, let's get something straight. We don't think you did anything like this purposely, okay? Not at all.
Here.
I wanted nothing to do with that. But I was in the truck with them, yes. I was not. I was in the very back seat.
Yep.
But I was not an aggressor by any means. And I asked to get the fuck out and walk after we left the scene. And the Brent dude was not letting me out of the fucking truck.
All right. We know you were in the back seat, okay?
I just don't want my fiance to get in trouble.
Well, we don't either. Okay, and that's why, again, just telling the truth right now is the best thing
Yes, I was
for you.
in the back seat. I guess where are the holes, and just let me. I won't fucking lie to you guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
We keep hearing about this taser that's being used.
A taser being used?
Yeah.
No. A taser. I did have a taser, but I did not use it. There's
Looks like taser.
Yeah, no. The taser was only brought out, and because I was sitting. She's here, on this side, and I'm over here, like here on this side, and all I did was in the air, and it scared.
To scare her?
To scare her, yeah. Well, because she was hanging on, and the dude was starting to speed up fast, you know. But dude, I wouldn't. My old lady has fucking kicked my ass a couple times, and I'm not the type of man to.
What did Peyton tell you about why he wanted to rob?
That's still, the reasoning on this is still, that is not anything that I have knowledge on.
Okay.
There's no good reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So did he instigate the contact with her, or did she instigate it?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she hit him up asking, or being some type of guy to just go around and ask people if he needs something. But so I'd assume that she hit him up, and he said, and then he said, yes, we can do that.
Okay.
The whole way I kept telling him how this is not a good idea. I have a bad feeling. This is not a good idea. And then Peyton mentioned something about how she had just been robbed. That's what it was. Peyton mentioned how she had just been robbed 2 days prior.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Did he say why?
No, he didn't tell me why. I don't.
Okay.
Honest to God, I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a decision made between the driver and Peyton to do this, but this was whatever I was saying, they weren't listening to me. They were giving me the fucking cold shoulder.
Was it more Brent's idea or Peyton's idea?
I don't know. I don't know Brent. It was the first time I'd ever met him, but I mean, he was pressing Peyton to continue, like, well, like, we're not gonna turn around, da da da. And so maybe Peyton didn't have enough. I'm not sure. And at one point, Peyton was saying, no, you know what, maybe not. Let's not do this. And Brent was like, dude, we're all the way up here, man. Because none of us had money. He's like, you're gonna owe me gas money, this, that, whoop de whoop. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess it was.
You guys already there at that point at the park? Just on the way there?
Drive up,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So maybe the decision was made on the drive there to rob her because he knew that she'd been robbed a couple days prior.
Perhaps, yeah, because I mean, everything was going fine. The gal got out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
She went over to Peyton's window and they were talking. I think they even smoked a little bit. And
did he ever give her any of the meth?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him pass her a bag.
Okay. Did it look like an ounce?
It didn't look like an ounce.
Okay.
It didn't look like an ounce, and then I think that's when Peyton said, go.
Okay.
And then the driver's like, what? Peyton's like, go, go, go. And then the driver sped off.
Okay.
And the gal jumped onto the truck.
Jumped on the truck where?
So, like basically on the passenger side, and then at one point was like kind of in the center of the hood, center of the vehicle, and then
okay.
It was like
So she's not on the running board. She's on the hood of the car?
Yeah, I swear to God, this sounds like something out of a fucking movie. And then the dude slammed on the brakes. Okay. And then kept going.
Okay. Then what happened?
He didn't stop.
What did you hear? What did you see?
He kept going. He never stopped. I turned around and I could see the girl, and she was trying to sit up. Like, she wasn't dead right there. She didn't die from just getting ran over. But nobody would stop. I'm yelling at Brent to stop. I'm begging him, pleading him to stop. He decided to keep on going. And then me and Peyton were both agreeing, like, okay, she's not dead. And Brent's like, no, I know she's dead. I fucking ran that bitch over, this, that, and I swear to God, I almost started strangling Brent there. I was like, dude, she's not a bitch, dude. She's not just some bitch. Like, I don't know if he's a sociopath or what. He didn't seem to care. He didn't seem to fucking feel bad. And me and Peyton were both freaking out. Like, and that's why I was asking him to let out of the truck. Cause it's not what I asked for. Not what I signed up for.
Despite Tyler's attempts to minimize his role in Darian's death, investigators weren't buying his story of innocent bystander. He admitted to officers that he had the taser in his possession that night, even acknowledging using it to frighten Darian, though he continued to deny ever making contact with her body. The marks on Darian's chest, however, told a different story. For the detectives, Tyler's admission about the taser was enough. He might not have been driving the truck, but he was far from an unwilling participant. Within hours, Tyler became the second suspect charged with first-degree murder. But one piece of the puzzle was still missing: Peyton Mulryan. For 5 tense days, he managed to stay one step ahead of law enforcement, until another confidential informant came forward. This time the tip was solid. They knew exactly where Peyton was hiding out. When officers moved in to make the arrest, Peyton offered no resistance and was brought back to the station for the detective's most important interrogation yet.
All right. So why do you think you're here, Peyton?
I already know why.
All right. So do you want to talk to us about that, or ask us questions, or just tell us what happened?
I guess I would say I set up a drug deal. The drug deal went bad.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know anything else after that because dude kept driving. But I was a passenger.
I understand that. Yeah, we get that.
I
I was a passenger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, like, I didn't even do anything to her.
Yeah.
But I was a passenger. I didn't hit her, I didn't touch her, I didn't do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one who tased her. I'm not none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I understand where I could be getting charged, but I don't understand, like, why not being charged with something so serious.
Well, that's what happens when we have a crime, right? And
You don't know what to do.
Well, no, we figure out people. All right. So we have the circumstances of what we think happened, right? So then we continue to investigate them, and then we arrest one person, right? The driver.
Yeah,
you know that.
Of course. Yeah.
And we get his side of the story. So then we go off of that. So then we arrest Tyler, right? And he tells us a totally different story. And now it's your side of the story, correct? We understand you're just a passenger, but we want you to fill in the blanks that maybe we don't know. You know, Brent told us one story.
Brent.
Tyler told us, filled in a little more detail, and now it's your opportunity to tell us what. Okay? That's all it is.
What do you want to know?
So you set up a drug deal with Darian.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you please not say your name? I'm so fucked up from it.
No, that's okay. Oh, we won't. What do you want us to say? The girl? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's back up. So you know her
Yes.
from previous.
Yes.
You had a relationship with her?
Yes. Friends, yeah.
Well, I thought you had an intimate relationship for about a month after she got out of prison or jail, DOC.
Yeah.
So you've always known her.
Yes.
Tell us what you remember.
I didn't do it.
I know. Tell us what you remember.
How am I being charged with it?
Because it's in the commission of another crime.
So am I going to be charged with the same one?
Yeah.
Murder one?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Is it a fightable case?
that's up to you and your attorney. I can't tell you that. Can't give you any legal advice.
Am I the only one?
All three of you.
Peyton, he already told you that they already gave their version of what happened. So what he's asking you is for you to basically go through and say, this happened, and this happened, and that happened, because their accounts are a little bit different, and yours probably will be too, right? But we weren't there.
It was a drug
You
deal
were.
gone bad. That's all it was.
How about the drug deal? What was it for?
Money.
I know, but like, what was the terms, right? What kind of quantity
An ounce
of,
of meth.
and how much was she gonna pay you?
$250.
Okay. And whose idea was it to meet at the park?
Brent's. It wasn't meant to happen like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of those two are.
Who had
He ran her over. It was an accident.
It was an accident?
It was.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to take nobody's life, no.
Right. No. Nobody's saying you're a
I wasn't
killer.
even driving the car.
Nobody said you're a killer. People said you weren't a killer. You've been reading too much shit on Facebook, haven't you?
I haven't even looked.
Okay. Your sister's been telling you what people have been saying. Is that what's
Talking shit.
happening?
A lot of people talking.
Yeah. Is that what you're thinking? We don't think you're a killer.
I
We
didn't-
want the facts. We're objective.
Oh, I'm being charged with a murder.
Well, that's the RCW. For the totality of the circumstances, meaning the actions that took place. All right? What do you think should be charged? An accident and nothing?
Not murder one. I didn't premeditate this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody even, but it wasn't even supposed to happen like that.
How was it supposed to happen?
That's what we're trying to tell you, ask you. Brent has a different story. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? And I will tell you, if
I
you
heard
tell me
a
your
little
story,
bit of it. Yeah.
and I'll tell you what Brent
He's
told
trying
me.
to say I paid him and all sorts of stuff to do this and that. And
Yeah.
that's not true.
Well, that's what he's telling us. What if it's not true? Then tell us what happened.
So you're in the front passenger seat, Brent's driving, and Tyler's sitting in the middle?
He was right behind me.
In the back?
Yeah.
So Tyler's in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are all three together.
Yeah.
Darian hits you up for drugs.
Yeah.
And you say, yeah, I got some.
Yeah.
You agree to $250.
Yeah.
And how did the park come into play? Whose idea was it to go to the park?
It was Brent's.
Brent's idea?
Brent's idea for the meetup.
But you're the one communicating with
Yeah.
with her over Messenger.
Yeah, but he chose the area.
Okay. So
This wasn't just my idea.
okay. So you're saying Brent chose the park, right? So then you communicate to her, hey, how about the park? Did she know where it's at?
Yes. No, she
Or did
didn't.
you have to
buddy
give her-
did. Her buddy did.
Her buddy did?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you have to give her directions?
No, I didn't.
So what happened? The car pulls up.
She goes to the side, I grab the money. Brent tries to take off. Tyler tases her.
So you said
The only thing I did, because she hit me in the face, is I blocked her. I didn't touch her. I don't hit girls.
hang on, she hit you in the face?
Yeah.
Where at in the face?
Right here. She wasn't hard, though.
Oh, is that
More like grab me.
Is that why it's a little puffy right there?
Is it puppy?
Okay. So you said so they pull up and did she get out of the car, or were you guys parked next to each other like car to car?
Car to car, but she got out of the car.
And came to your window.
Mm-hmm.
And did she hand you money or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did you do?
We drove off. Tried to.
Did you count it? I mean, did you verify the amount or anything?
No.
You just trusted that she had $250 because she said she did?
Did at any time did the exchange of dope happen?
No.
Just
There was no dope.
grab the money and
Yeah.
What do you mean there was no dope?
There was, but not a lot.
not an ounce.
Not an ounce.
So you guys knew that you were going to sell $250 worth, but she wasn't going to get that much?
Yeah.
Okay, so she gave you the money, and then did Brent just spontaneously decide to take off on his own, or was there a conversation, or
I mean, in the beginning, yeah, that was the plan.
is to get the money and then he take off
Yeah.
and not give her any dope?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys intended to rip her off. I mean, that was the plan. So Brent took off, and was she inside the window? Did she grab onto
Yeah,
something?
she tried to grab onto something. I don't know what she grabbed onto.
What did she grab onto?
She tried to grab onto me, but then she's grabbing onto the door, and then Tyler tased her.
So, and the vehicle's moving, right? And she's on the vehicle. And is she screaming or saying stop, or you said she hit you? At what point did she hit you?
I don't think she hit me. She like grabbed my face.
Oh, like just grabbed at it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you didn't hit her back or anything?
No, I never hit her.
Is she dangling? Is she running on the ground, or is she standing on something, or?
I'm not sure what she was standing on the side of the door. I don't know what she was standing on, but she wouldn't. Yeah.
But she wasn't getting off.
Until Brent started driving really crazy.
How fast?
So, yeah.
Like 40 miles an hour.
40?
But he kept jerking the.
Okay. And Tyler, you said Tyler tased her at some point during that?
Yeah.
Where did he tase her at?
I'm not. In the neck, I think, or in the arm.
So, I
And
mean,
that's when she fell.
is when she got tased?
When she started getting tased her for a good minute.
And so when she got tased, she fell off, you said?
Yeah. Took her a while, but yeah.
So when she fell off, what happened? Was Brent still driving? Did
Brent
he stop?
just kept driving. I was like, dude. And Tyler's like, dude. And he's like, nope, I'm out of here. he actually almost crashed leaving out of that place because he was going so fast.
Okay. So when she fell off, what happened? Did Brent stop?
No.
Did he hit the brakes?
No.
How did she fall off? I mean, she's hanging right inside your window.
She got tased and then she just fell off. Well, he kept jerking, and then she fell off. This is pretty serious.
It is pretty serious. Not gonna lie, it's pretty serious.
I just don't understand how it could be a murder one. Because I didn't premeditate it.
Do you want to tell it? Well, there's a funny little law called the BART felony. Okay? Burglary, arson, rape, robbery.
And kidnapping.
So it's automatically a murder one.
Well, when people die in the commission of those, it kind of amps it up.
Commission of a robbery amps it up to a murder first.
It's the rest of my life.
And since your robbery was premeditated, it was more than a moment in time where you guys were planning the robbery. Yeah. It bumps it up to that.
It's the rest of my life.
Yeah.
After months of building their case, justice for Darian would come with a bitter compromise. Despite the brutality of her death, prosecutors were concerned that first-degree murder charges might not stick in front of a jury. The evidence was strong, but they felt that proving premeditated intent beyond a reasonable doubt was another matter entirely. In the end, all three men were offered plea deals and was convicted on first-degree manslaughter. Peyton Mulryan received a sentence of 13 years behind bars. Brent Gerber and Tyler O'Keefe received 9 years each.